So if you go back a decade, you had Swan terror when the Daily Mail and everybody else said that migrants were eating the nation's swans. I've helpfully screen grabbed some of those headlines, and I'd like to share them with you now. Mail online, slaughter of the swans. As carcasses pile up and crude migrant camps are built on the riverbank, Peterborough residents are scared to visit the park. Express. Gangs of hungry immigrants were today condemned by anglers for the rape and pillage of the city's swans as they prey on fish and swans for food. And it goes on and on and on. Last year in Washington, the same story repeated. So foul play. Foreign nationals kill and eat the town's beloved swan. What you've got here is another animal story going on where a beloved animal is being persecuted by immigrants. And yet, once again, no evidence.
No evidence. I mean,
none.
Don't you think there's this weird royal thing in there as well?
Yes.
As we all know, that the two things that people know about swans, one is that they'll break your arm with their wing, which is, there's not really much evidence of that happening.
Yeah.
They can be quite vicious. The other is that they're all, in this country at least, owned. They're the property of the Queen. So there is this thing about it's kind of immigrants coming and disrespecting something fundamental.
Our king swans.
Yes, our king swans. No longer our queen swans, quite right. But the irony is, of course, that they were people did used to eat. Apparently they're quite good to eat.
But my father actually ate swan once. Back in the 50s or 60s, he was at a dinner at one of those livery companies, I think the Vintners Company.
Right.
And he did eat swan and used to say that it was like eating boots. But that might have been because of British cooking of the 1950s and 60s, which I've also discovered that if you ever...